Welcome back, Mr. Jeffries. I got to turn on the TV so my students actually know what's going on. While we're doing that, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell. Now, usually I would tell you how to set these up, solve them by factoring, quadratic formula, plug stuff back in, and it's not a good time for everybody else. And because in this unit we've already covered how to solve that stuff a lot, what we're going to do now is just set these problems up to solve. And we have special guests. We have Miss Riley and Miss Emma. They stopped by for some odd reason today. Oh, to get a water and moral support. Okay. All right. So now, huh? What? I don't know. All right. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. I think maybe, probably not. All right. So if we use substitution, a lot of students like this. I'm more of an elimination type person. That's just me. We're going to set them equal to each other. So it's going to look like this: x squared minus 4x plus 6 equals x plus 2. And we can set them equal to each other because it says y equals and y equals. Okay. Now, move the variables together. We're going to move this x over here with this x. Okay. So if this is understood to be a positive 1x, we're going to subtract x, subtract x. Oops, not two x's. Nobody needs two x's. All right. So we would have x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 2. Okay. And then we would move the constants together. Okay. So we would subtract 2, subtract 2. And all right. Once it's in this form, you can find x by factoring, quadratic formula, and then you could plug it back in to find y. To me, that's not the big part. To me, this is important. I don't know why I'm doing those bad stars. Let's do this one. Okay. That's the main thing. If you can't get to this part right here, there's no reason to move on. Yep. And because last year I had two problems like this, and some people didn't even know how to start it. They were like, and this is starting it. Okay. Yep. Did y'all hear about the movie with the chicken and the pig doing martial arts? It's called Kung Pao and Pork Chop. Like Kung Pao chicken. Okay. It cost me $0 to not say that. Yeah. It's okay. All right. So, not so bad with the first one. Again, these are the steps that should be in your head. Okay. This may be stuff that you need to write to yourself because you're still going to get your mad minute to write whatever you need to on that sheet of paper. Okay. All right. Let's look at B. Okay. Same process. Set them equal to each other. Okay. Did that. Check. All right. Now move variables together. I've got to move this over here by subtracting 3x. X squared minus 6x plus 3 equals negative 6. Okay. and then we move the constants together. Well, I've got to move this minus 6, so I got to add 6. And then we would get x squared. Oh, that doesn't look good. Minus 6x plus 9 equals 0. And then we're in our form. Okay? You would not believe some of the very inventive math I have seen over the past years trying to get to this point right here. When I'm saying inventive, they are making up stuff. Yeah, they are clearly ahead of their time. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of new math in like a couple of hundred years, and the newest math is calculus. Yeah, they're probably doing more drugs, but not to make new math, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah. So now, this is as far as we're going. Okay. Now, what's funny, even if you had something like this on the ACT, a lot of these problems you can work backwards from it. Like you would plug in X and Y, plug them into one, see if you get it right. Okay. And, you know, this is a long process because you would have to find both X's and find both Y's because sometimes they touch twice, sometimes they touch once. You know, it's not a big deal. All right. So that substitution, that's usually the method I have more students like. Okay. Because nobody likes to like the same method that Mr. Jeffries does. Elimination. All right. So I've thought about having like calling me Dr. Mathenstein and like actually have like really quality videos on the YouTube. I'm just not there yet. All right. So we're going to leave the quadratic alone. The quadratic is the one with the x squared. We're going to multiply the linear everything by -1. So instead of having y, we now have negative y. Okay, -1 times x is negative x, and then plus 4. Okay, now after we do that, we line them up. Okay, all right, positive y minus a y is no y's, no more x squareds. -6 minus 1 is -7x. 8 plus 4 is 12. Is it in that form? Yes. Okay. Now, some people are like, no, it's not because zero's on one side. Basically, what we're asking is all this Jimmy Jam stuff on one side and zero on the other? No, it doesn't matter. But that's it. Now, I like elimination. To me, it seems kind of quick and to the point. Go for the jugular. Remember, if you hit the jugular or the carotid artery, they have 6 minutes to bleed out. So, yep. Depends on the severity of the cut. Yeah. Don't Google that on school website. They may end up having to talk to you about stuff, and then I'll get involved, and nobody wants that. Nothing. Okay. All right. So on example D, okay, we do the same thing. All right. And I have it set out like this so people can see where stuff is coming from. I know not everybody's going to do it like this. Multiply, so we got 12x and minus 36. Okay. -y plus 12x minus 36. We get 0 equals x squared plus x minus 72. Okay. Now, it's set up. We could solve by factoring to get x's. We could use quadratic formula. Somewhere else, I have a lot of who farted looks on that. Like somebody didn't. Did I lose some people? Or did somebody just finally say, hey, I don't like this method. Substitution is my jam? Okay. Now, for other people that's not my class, I'm sorry that you'll actually have to try to find X, plug it back in, and find the Y's. But at least you know how to set it up. Now, there is a your turn on this handout. We're not doing that due to time constraints. Okay. It's extra if you need it. Okay. What we're going to do now, I'm actually going to stop. I'm going to give them their practice test so we can actually have time to go over that in class. So there's another video coming up today. 2 uploads. I know. It's going to be amazing. That's right. So don't forget, hit subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell, leave a good comment. Good stuff, good things. Roll Tide.